Hi, I'm Lauren from See It Teleplay Therapy. Thank you all for joining me for our Facebook event. See It Teleplay Therapeutic Coaching presents 4 parenting tips. Teleplay Therapy is a company dedicated to child development and parenting. We work one-on-one with parents and families to offer guidance and support to help you reach your child's desired goals. And just like the Facebook event, it's all virtual. Our therapeutic coaching sessions are all conducted online, so you receive the services from the comfort and privacy of your home. One area of focus for See It Teleplay Therapy is parental coaching. We know that parenting is the most rewarding and challenging job that you will face. Many of us need guidance, and we hope that these 4 tips that we're presenting today will help you. Today we have one of our therapeutic coaches, Beth, who will be presenting the 4 parenting tips to help you in your parenting journey. Beth has a master's degree in child development and has been working in the field for over 14 years. She has a passion for teaching others about parenting and really understands the dynamics of family. Some of Beth's experience comes from firsthand knowledge, as she's a mother of 3 children who range in age from 6 to 11 years old. Now, here's Beth.
Hello, I am Beth Vick, therapeutic coach with Simmons Early Intervention Therapy, and I would like to join you with a few parenting tips today. Tip number 1, always be positive. When we're working with young children, we want to make sure that we focus on the positive things. Oftentimes when we're talking about behaviors, we find that we are, reinforcing maybe some negative behaviors that we don't want to see just by giving those behaviors attention. All right, so we want to make sure that we focus on positive actions and not always try to correct the behaviors that we do not wish to see. So, for example, if a child is running through the house and that's not something that we want them to do, instead of saying, no, stop running, don't run in the house, we could focus on what we would rather see them do instead. So maybe a response such as, we use walking feet in the house, would be a more positive statement. Through using positive statements, it gives us an opportunity to explain to the young children the actions or behaviors that we would rather see. And it does take a little more time up front, but over time you will see some of those negative behaviors decrease, and we're not always saying, no, don't stop. So that is one parenting tip that I would like to share with you today. Parenting tip number 2, give choices. We all like choices in life, and children are no different. And I have some parents ask me from time to time, well, how do I give a child a choice? I need them to do X, Y, Z. And so I always like to tell parents that there is, in every situation, we can create a choice. Just may need to be a little creative. But when we are creating those choices, we want to make sure that we never deviate from our desired end result. So, for example, if a child does not want to go to bed at night, all right, we can give them a choice. Remember that the end result is going to be that child goes to bed. But we can empower them by giving them a choice. Would you like to read a book on the sofa before we go to bed, or would you like for me to read with you in your room? All right, maybe even allow the child to choose which book to read. So they're giving children choices. One, they're more likely to, once they have made those choices, they're more likely to follow through with them. And they begin to learn that the outcome is a direct response to the choice that they made. And that is such a powerful life skill for young children today. Parenting tip number 3 would be consistency. I believe that consistency is very important in all aspects of life, and we often hear the phrase, say what you mean and mean what you say. Children will begin to learn very early on that parents will or will not follow through with what they say. So it's very important when we are disciplining our children or setting expectations, one, that they are developmentally appropriate expectations. We need to make sure that we're not setting expectations that the child cannot attain. We also need to make sure that we are consistent. So if we for example, if we tell them at checkout that they cannot get the candy bar that they're begging for, and the line is really long and they're begging a really long time, and we say no, 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 and by the time you get up to the cash register, you're just tired and worn out, and you finally say yes. Well, in that moment, you have completely negated all of the structure and the no's, and so that the child will eventually learn that if I beg long enough, they will give in, and that's not a practice that we as parents would like to embrace. So please just make sure that you are being consistent, and that will help you with a parenting tip number 3. Parenting tip number 4, predictability. Regardless of the situation and regardless of your age, we all like to be in an environment that's a little bit predictable. And children are no different. We like to know what is coming up next and what we can expect. So it's very important that we have a routine of some sort so that children will get an idea of predictability throughout the day. Not only will predictability help us become organized, but it will empower the children to become more independent. Older children can even provide input into their daily routines, such as, would you like to take a bath prior to bedtime, or would you like to take a bath prior to dinner? Again, you see how we work in the choices from parenting number 2 example, parenting tip number 2. So it's very important that our routines are somewhat predictable, because it gives an opportunity for children to really understand and learn to expect what is going to happen next. It just makes the flow of the day be a little more smooth. So I think once we start to work predictability into our daily routines, we will see some positive behaviors as a result of that. These are our parenting tips for today. Just to review, tip number 1, be positive. Tip number 2, give choices. Tip number 3, always be consistent. And tip number 4, be predictable. We hope that you have found these tips useful. And if you would like to continue to receive tips from Simmons Early Intervention Teleplay Therapy, please like our Facebook page or visit us online at www.teleplaytherapy.com.